The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about being saved.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, friends.
Welcome into another episode of Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses. I'm Danny Jones.
And I am Samantha Jones.
And this is episode 183.
183.
What are we doing today?
We are doing readings by Samantha.
Yeah.
That's me.
Very cool.
Yay.
Well, before we do that, we're not going to bother hopping anything from last week because this is pre-recorded and we're on vacation.
We are on vacation.
In Hawaii.
Yay. Aloha.
Yeah. Mahalo.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into
Let's do
episode
it.
183, Readings by Samantha Jones.
I do have questions
What?
to answer. So that I do have. But I don't have anything really from last week
Got
because
it.
we're still
Cool.
here. So let's answer the questions
Let's
and then
do
we'll
that.
get into the readings. Okay, so the first question is from Hillary. She says, how do you not feel like you're disappointed or that you've disappointed or take steps back in your journey? Let me read that again. How do you not feel like you've disappointed or takes back steps back? So I think sometimes when you do voice to text, it doesn't come out right. So I think I understand what she means. I've been trying so hard to better myself and trusting things as they are, but sometimes I have to sit back and disappoint myself, and it makes me feel like I've disappointed my spirit guides for all the work they've done to help me get this far. I totally understand. I think we both probably understand that in any journey, you're going to take steps back. And sometimes it can feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, you know.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. But those moments are really the moments where we're supposed to remember that we're human. And that without those times that we've kind of disappointed ourselves or have fallen off the spiritual wagon, the highs wouldn't be so great.
Yeah.
And again, we are human. We're supposed to have these kinds of emotions. We're supposed to experience the full range of emotions. Our spirit guides are not disappointed in us. That's our human emotion. And I do that too. I totally if I do something wrong, I go, oh, my mom must be so disappointed in me. But
Right.
she never is. She's always the same, loving, caring, because I'm thinking like a human and she's not a human.
And they once were, so I think they tend to understand what it's like
Absolutely.
to be human. They understand that you're not as enlightened.
Yes.
You may or may not be trying to, but you're just truly not.
Yeah. I always say it has to be frustrating for them, but it's not frustrating for them.
Probably more comical
Yes.
than anything.
Yes, because they probably watch us and go, why are you doing this to
Right.
yourself? It's really more simple than you think it is. And so, but yeah, don't ever worry about disappointing your spirit guides or the universe, because that's what we're here for. And when we do those things, that's when we grow. That's when we learn, especially when we dust ourselves off and put ourselves back on that spiritual wagon. And, I think taking accountability is something that they want us to do and that we should do. So in these situations where you're disappointed in yourself, being disappointed in yourself is great because you are taking accountability.
Yeah.
If you weren't disappointed in yourself, then, there might be a problem there.
I think it shows that you've learned if you're willing to do that. You're admitting
Absolutely.
that I've learned.
Yep. So try not to be disappointed in yourself, even when those things happen. It's hard. Trust me, I know I go through that too. And it's hard because I have this job and I have the podcast and the radio show soon, and I'm supposed to be an example to everybody,
Right.
but I can't always be the example. Sometimes I need somebody else to be the example, and that makes it difficult. And I do get very disappointed in myself when I do something that I feel was the wrong way to go. I'm very hard on myself.
Right.
That's me. That's not them.
Yeah, and you're right. It's not, because that's what I believe. It's not judgment on the other side.
Yeah. It's
It's
judgment here.
support. It's the judgment comes from ourselves.
Yep. Exactly. So I hope that answered your question, Hillary.
Thanks, Hillary.
And then the next question comes from my sister, Amanda. We
Amanda.
have both had some weird experiences happen. Well, I always have weird experiences happen, but this is kind of newer for her. now that we've really gotten to know each other and she's become a big part of my life, the spirituality has kind of rubbed off on her. She's going through a spiritual awakening. She's having visions and very strange types of visions, premonitions, and feelings and stuff. So today she asked me, why am I having all these weird premonitions, and what are those shadows that I'm seeing? So I wanted to answer these questions.
Shadow effers.
Yes. So first on the shadows. And if you're going through a spiritual awakening, you probably are or will at some point experience some of these things. So if you haven't yet, I'd still pay attention to this, because I think at some point everybody does. The shadows, those are spirits.
Yeah.
Those are, like Danny said, shadow effers. The reason that we call them that is because they startle you. You're just doing whatever you're doing, and all of a sudden you're like, what's that?
Yeah.
I see a lot of animals, even flying, like birds and stuff. That really freaks me out, because I'm like, okay, now I'm seeing things. Now I'm seeing weird things.
I don't think there's anything bad to them at all.
Not at all, no.
Some people claim that they've had those experiences with him, but I don't. I've never.
No. I mean, for me,
I've never
like
even
my
felt
vision.
a weird feeling,
No.
But meaning like before, I felt like I see him more like out of the peripheral.
Yes.
Of your vision. And like, it's funny, nighttime they're lighter and then daytime it's darker.
Yes.
But yeah, it's never been an unpleasant experience or feeling prior to the experience.
No, it's just, for me, sometimes startling because you're not expecting it,
Right.
especially when it comes to seeing the animals.
Yeah, something going by the ground.
Yes.
I've had that too.
Have you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just figured it was, one of our dogs.
Yep. I used to have ferrets, and so a lot of times I'm like, I think that was one of the ferrets, because it's a small shadow. But yeah, they're not going to hurt you. They're not anything like that. They're just spirits showing themselves in a different way. And like Danny said, at night they actually look white. Like we have outside of our room where for years it's like they're right there.
Yeah, it's like
guarding
somebody's
our door.
watching, guarding.
Yeah. At first I thought that I was going crazy seeing that. I'm like, am I seeing? And then you said
I still
it.
see it every night.
Every night.
Every single
Yep.
night.
Yep.
Our TV is to the left of the door, so the door is open, and I see, from an angle, the door frame in black. But there's always this like white apparition just kind of hanging.
And it was the same at the old house too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, it very much was, because
Yeah.
that's where we started noticing it. So that's what the shadows are. Why are you having all of these weird premonitions? So the other night, I think this is the way the story goes. She got into the car to leave to go somewhere, and she had this weird feeling that something was going to happen. So a lot of times when you have that feeling where you just feel like, uh-oh, and you don't know what it is, you might come up with your first thought. What's the first thought? Well, hers was, I'm going to hit a deer. Well, she ended up getting pulled over by the cops. But she knew that something was going to happen. She just didn't know what it was. That is really, really very common.
Yeah.
Today, the reason this came up is because I threw an example of something that happened to me out that was really kind of weird. So I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that our daughter was in a minor car accident. So today I drove through that intersection where she had the accident, and I drive through there all the time. It's literally like less than a mile from our house. But for whatever reason, I started thinking about the running. She ran a red light, and that's how it happened. So I was thinking about this in my head, like, wait, and thinking about how it happened and all that. And I just kept hearing running a red light, running a red light. So I stopped at the next red light, and as it turns green and me and the guy next to me start going, this guy makes a turn in front of us on a red light. So they were trying to warn me, but this happens to me a lot, where they will show me something that has already happened in my life, and it means that it's coming up or something that relates to it, that type of thing. But I didn't catch that today until after it. Hindsight is always 20/20, isn't it? But these are the strange things that happen even to somebody like me that's a professional psychic. I don't always know what it is they're trying to say or why they're telling me these things. This one was pretty clear, be careful that somebody's going to run a red light.
Right.
But you get other things too that just don't make sense, and those are all very normal, and they make more sense, I think, as you go along on the spiritual journey, though.
Yeah.
And the more of those instances that you have, the more you'll understand them.
Yep. I got that coming home from dropping Marina off to get her car because she got a flat tire. So we had to get the tire fixed, and this was just a couple days ago. But on the way home, I was like, which way should I go? Freeway or the back way? And I was planning on going the freeway, and I just heard, you should go the back way.
Yeah.
And I just like, I've learned now
Yeah.
not to entertain
Yes.
any other option other than what was suggested,
Yep.
what I heard in my head. And I did that, and I made it home fine.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen the other way, usually. Like, if you would have taken the freeway, it could have been that there was an accident that was holding things up, or you might have been in an accident. You will never know, and that is okay.
The part that stood out to me was that instead of hearing, I think I'll take the freeway, I heard, you should take the back way.
Yes. Always go with those things. Don't question them.
Because I felt like the I would be like, ooh, I'm going to do what I want and go what I think might be the quickest route. But I heard it in a different context,
Yes.
which meant, that's a good suggestion.
I always listen very closely to the yous because we don't refer to ourselves as you. We refer to ourselves as I.
Yeah.
So when you hear those yous in your head, pay attention to those.
Yeah.
Probably a spirit guide or
Yeah.
higher self even. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So hope that answers your question a little bit, Amanda. There's lots of examples to this that I could give, but it is really amazing how they work with us.
Yeah.
You know, trying to.
That's
do
cool,
all
though.
this
Good
stuff.
for Amanda.
Yes, it's great. I love that. So let's see. And then before we give our info, my radio show starts in a couple of days or a few days. Yay! So the first show is November 16th. It goes live at 10 a.m. on voiceamerica.com internet radio. You go to the empowerment channel and you will see me and my show, Beyond the Bridge with Samantha Jones. I'm planning on having guests every week, but the first week I'm not going to. I'm just going to take callers and talk about what the show is going to be about, give a history of my, brief history of my life, who I am, all that. And then every week we'll have guests and stuff. Even my wonderful husband will be on one week.
Oh, my God.
Yay. So
That's
very
so
exciting.
nervy.
Yes. And this week we're going to play the song at
Yes.
the end of this episode that Danny wrote for the show. It's the intro music and all the commercial and everything.
Same as the title.
Yep.
Beyond the Bridge, we call it.
Yep, Beyond the Bridge. So
Very
yay.
cool.
So that's coming up. So
Excited.
have a listen.
Yay for Samantha.
Yay, thank you. And then before we start, shall we give our info?
Please.
Okay, so you can find me at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. If you'd like to reach us at the show, spiritualjoneses@gmail.com, or find us on all social media at spiritualjoneses.
Very good.
And you?
For my art, djonesartcollection.com. For the web, at djonescollection art collection. For Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yay.
All right, then. Shall we hop into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Episode 183, officially. Readings by Samantha Jones.
Yay. So if you haven't heard one of these episodes before, we do these quite often. Listeners love them.
Mm-hmm.
In our group, our discussion group that you can find on Facebook, we have our listeners request readings. And so these are all them in the discussion group. That's where this is from. These are our listeners. So there's going to be psychic readings, which are talking about a person, their situation, whatever they want to talk about. Right. Or spirit readings, medium readings, which is talking to spirits. And then there's animal readings that from both living and dead animals.
Yes.
So.
And we have done these in the past.
Yes.
So usually the following episode of the reading episode will usually have a lot of feedback confirmation for the readings that Samantha gave.
Yes. So
in case you're curious.
Yes, exactly. So please feel free to send us your feedback after your reading. Okay, let's get started, shall we?
Please.
Okay, the first one is for Carrie. This is a psychic reading. She says, first off, thank you for all you do. I would like a reading for myself. I feel pulled in so many directions with so many aspects of my life right now, and I would like some clarity, guidance on what I am supposed to do, where I am supposed to be. I feel I have a purpose, but I don't know what the purpose is. And I think that a lot of people feel like that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, as I was reading this, something interesting happened, and that was that I started feeling anxious and my chest started tightening. And typically what that means is that you're feeling a lot of anxiety over what you're talking about here. I'm picking up, because I'm an empath, I'm picking up your anxiety about this. So just so you know, I feel that anxiety that you're dealing with in all of these different areas. But let me get into what you asked here. Okay. So right now, I can understand where your frustration is in life, because I feel like you are in this in-between time. And the in-between time is really frustrating. Like, what I mean by that is that we all have things that happen in our lives. And we'll have something that happens, and then we'll have a lull. And then we have something that happens again.
Right.
And you're in one of those lulls. So it doesn't mean that things aren't going to start moving again. It just means that right now things are kind of stagnant. And I feel by December, January, things are going to start moving better for you. I feel like your self-confidence is a big problem right now. This feels like it could stem from relationship or lack thereof, not feeling loved, not feeling heard and listened to. All of these things, you're not feeling them. You don't feel like you have somebody that you can talk to about the things that are going through your head, not just spiritually, but with everything. It's like you need a good spiritual friend. You need, and you know what? This is what the discussion group is for too, like for people to meet in there and maybe make friends. And you guys have so much in common you don't even know. So get to know some of the people in the group, and maybe you can make some spiritual friends, because that's very helpful. Because,
and you get a lot of good advice in there too. A lot of listeners have great advice.
Yes. And this spiritual journey, like we had talked about last week, can feel very alone sometimes. You just, when you're going along trying to better yourself and you see the world differently, people don't always understand. Yeah. And so I feel like that's a lot of what you're going through right now. Like I said, I feel like December, January, things are going to start to open up. You're going to start to see more of a purpose, more of a path opening up for you. I feel your vibration during that time getting higher and attracting things. That's really important. When you feel like this, when you're down, you don't attract as much. But when you start to feel better, you do. One of the things I'm seeing is books. And because you're not here to answer this, I don't know where that's supposed to go. You might. This might have something to do with, anything related to books, bookstore. I don't know. So you'll have to tell me. But that's something to keep in mind. Maybe this is about writing a book. Oh, that could be. You'll have to let me know. This could be writing a book, because I do feel like you're very creative. And I'm not necessarily talking about like a biography. I'm talking about, this could be children's books, because I keep seeing a bookstore. So we're going to go with that. I think that you should start working on a book if you haven't already. Children's book stands out to me. Children's spiritual books. We've talked about that for years, for doing the spiritual books for children. But that's where this is pulling me towards for you. When I continue to try and open it up, tell me more. Spiritual books for children. I really think that you'll have to let me know if you've even thought about that, if that's something that tickles your fancy, because I can see you doing it for sure.
Yeah.
So just keep going. You're going to find that confidence in yourself here coming up soon. There's going to be some changes that you're going to go through that are just, you're going to feel more positive. And once that starts to happen, I feel like you're going to reclaim some of the happiness that you've lost. And I think you just need a push. Sometimes we all just need a push. And maybe this book writing is a push for you. So.
And don't be afraid to set kind of signs for yourself. Like, if you're not sure.
Yeah.
If you're on the right path, pick a favorite song, pick a color or something that can be shown to you.
Yep.
Yep, there it is. Okay, that's cool. I'm on the right path,
Yep. And even if you don't set the sign, if you see something that's a sign, that you feel it, take it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt when you showed me her picture, was like, we are showing you things, but I think because the energy frequency is so low, she's not recognizing it.
She's not, yeah, or passing it off as coincidence.
Yeah,
A lot of people
yeah.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
passing it off as coincidence. I mean, even myself sometimes, I go, "Oh, that's weird." No, that's not coincidence. That's a sign. I'll give you an example. Something that started recently is Tom Petty, "Running Down a Dream." I hear it all the time. It was the first song I heard getting in the car today by myself. And I never really heard that song before. And so I understand, like, they're trying to get this message out of, okay, you're doing this dream. You don't know where it's going, but you're following it and you're doing it.
Right.
It didn't stand out to me after I had heard it, until I had heard it a few times. But these types of things, if you're hearing songs like that and they stand out to you, take them, because that's how they try and communicate with us. So with those signs, yes, absolutely, listen to those, even if they don't make sense. A lot of these things that happen to me now, they wouldn't have made sense before I opened this. So it just takes time. But yeah, but I think you're going to figure it out. You're getting there. You really are getting there. So
Good luck.
yep, good luck for sure. So thank you for that one, Carrie.
Thanks, Carrie.
Okay, and then the next one is an animal for Hillary. She says, "You've read Goose for me before privately, but I was curious if there was something he wishes more humans knew. I feel like he's such a wise old soul, he might have some wisdom to share." And I love that, because not a lot of people ask that. And I think that it's important, because we just assume that we know how animals feel, and we don't all the time. So let me talk to Goose. This is a happy dog. This dog has the life. Yeah, this dog has the life. He goes, and then, so this is what he's showing me is, I'm assuming you take him to the horses and all that, because she rides horses and everything, and I'm assuming you take him to do all of that, because what he's showing me is, like, that he goes and he works and he's busy all day, and then he passes out at night, and it's nice. Yeah, he likes that. He sleeps good at night, he tells me. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that is one thing that he would like people to know. He would like them to know that it's important that your animals get enough exercise. And that's hard to do, you know?
Yeah.
It really is, especially when you have multiples. Like, we have 3 giant dogs. It's like, how do you walk 3 giant dogs? How do you keep them, you know, have them have enough exercise? But animals, you know, I think we forget, and this is really birds too. I really tell people this with birds is, animals' minds need to be stimulated. So even if you can't exercise them all the time, finding something for them to do to stimulate their mind is important. Like, I feed the birds just so Zuma can watch the birds eat. I mean, I like to feed them, but you know, he finds it entertaining, and he will sit there and he will watch them, and it keeps him busy. They need things to stimulate their minds. Birds, this is like so important with birds, because think about it. Like, dogs are more, they domesticated, you know, we have coyotes and all that, but they're more domesticated. But if you look at something like birds, they work all day. They forage for food all day long.
Yeah.
They have to find their own food in the wild. So what are they supposed to do in a cage all day, where the food is provided to them? They don't have anything to do. So they need stimulation. They need, you know, toys and foraging toys, things like that. And same with dogs, Kong toys. If they can't get the exercise that they need, find other ways to stimulate their mind. So that's one thing that Goose wanted the humans to know about dogs. Let's see, and animals in general. Let's see if he has anything else he wants to say. Smart dog. He says that he has noticed that humans are very sensitive in the way that if they make a mistake with their animal, they feel so guilty about it. And animals tend to shrug it off. For example, let's just say you're walking down the hall and you trip over your dog, which I've done many times with our black lab. And I feel so bad every time, because it starts with a kick, you know, because you can't see him. It starts with a kick. It's like, oh my gosh, I kicked my dog. We don't need to sulk over it, because they're not. I think that's just like a small piece of what he's trying to say here. But it's like, I understand what he's saying. We really go overboard in trying to make sure that our animals are happy and comfortable, where they really think simply, and we don't have to go that crazy with things. And so that makes sense, Goose.
Good to know, Goose.
Yeah, that's a couple of great points for the humans. So thank you for pointing that out. And thank you for that question, Hillary. That's really nice of you to share your question with, finding out some things from
Thanks,
the animals. Hillary. Yeah. Okay. And then the next one is an animal that has passed. This is from Serena. She says, "This is Christian, who passed away in January. My family has had a difficult time with his death, particularly my mom. Her grief is inconsolable. Does he have anything to say to my mom? I think hearing from him would help her heal. My mom's name is Julie."
Oh, cute puppy.
Yeah, he's a little, chihuahua-looking little guy.
Yeah.
So Christian was old when he passed. I've done a reading for him before, but anybody that's had a reading by me, you guys know I don't remember my readings, so I really don't remember anything about what this dog has told me in the past. But I know that he was very old when he passed. I can feel that. I can feel that he was ready. And it's really hard for humans to understand that the body can only live so long. It can't keep going. It's falling apart. And that's what was happening with Christian. Yeah. His body was done. It couldn't keep going the way it was going. And so he had to essentially trade the body in, which is what he's doing. It's just that his soul is staying on the other side for a little while instead of trading the body in and coming right back. He's taking a little bit of time for a break on the other side because he lived such a long life here. But he's going to come back, and he's going to have a new body, and he's going to live a happy life. Most likely with Serena, but of course mom's around and mom will be able to be a part of that new dog's life as well. I think the reason he's telling us this is because he doesn't want mom to feel guilty about anything, about I could have extended his life, I could have helped him, there was something I could have done, because no, there wasn't. The body was done. We have to think about that logically, that I mean, I'm 45 years old and I feel so much different than I did at 35. Like, things just hurt, and I can imagine what it's going to feel like at 55 and 65. So we have to put that into the same perspective as with our animals, that they go through the same aging process, but faster, much, much, much faster. Mm-hmm. So they just get to that point where it is just time to trade in that body. And, one of the things that we question a lot, and I think people always feel bad about this, is that animals don't live longer. I used to be one of those people. Oh, I wish my animals would live forever or whatever. But looking at it logically, that would not be good. No. Because first of all, can you imagine if all of these animals lived to be as old as humans? Yeah. How many animals there would be, and how many would be put to sleep anyways because of, their longevity. But also, imagine a dog or a cat or whatever, a bird, because birds already live really, really long time, and they're trapped in the home that's not a good home. They're being abused, or a bird that's shoved in a cage its whole life with nothing to do. Right. What kind of life is that? Right. So it's better that these souls are able to come into a body and leave it rather quickly and start over again. It's just a process. We're taught that death is this horrible thing, this horrible end to a beautiful thing, where actually it's a beautiful end to what might be the worst. It is the worst, because when we go to the other side, it's nice over there. It's beautiful. There's none of this. So it's actually the other way around. Yeah. But we don't look at it that way. And so I feel like he really wants your mom to know that this was how this had to go. And he's so sorry that he had to leave her when he did, because I know she was taking care of him when he passed away. But there was nothing that could be done. I know that she feels bad that Serena couldn't be there, but Serena was not supposed to be there. These things all happen for a reason as well. There was some kind of soul level with your mom and Christian, and they had to work out some things themselves and experience some things themselves, and that's what happened. So I hope that she can find a way to let go of that, and understanding that there was nothing that she could do, and it really just was his time to trade that body in. And he'll be back in a brand new body, and he will live just as long of a life as he did before, just in a better, healthier body, starting fresh. So I hope that helps all of you. Julie and Serena and Christian.
Thanks, you guys.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next. All right, this is another psychic reading. This one is from Brittany. She said, I think I would like a spiritual reading. I would like some confirmation and affirmation from the other side about my gifts and how I should be using them, my purpose, or whatever it is I need to know and understand. Okay, Brittany. So, you're on the right track, and sometimes I see in these readings where people are like getting off track a little bit. But I really feel like anytime that you get off track, you put yourself right back on. And that's good. That's hard to do. But I feel like you're past the point of no return. And what I mean by that is it's stuck in you now.
Yeah.
There does come a point, I think, in the spiritual journey where this is it. This is life. This is the way things are. You realize that
you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it. You can't go back. Right. You can't completely fall off of this wagon because you can't unsee it. You could try, but it doesn't work. But you are past that point where you're not going to be able to fall off of this wagon because you have seen it and you know what is actually going on. You have a lot of time left in this life, and during that time, you're going to continue to learn a lot about yourself, spiritually, in every way. I see, okay, let this develop. I'm going to say this is 10 years from now. I see you working behind the scenes of something like, gosh, I don't know what this is. You have a headset on. What is this? It looks like a show or something. But it's spiritual related. It's really interesting. And you're holding a clipboard. I don't know what this is. That's when these things happen, I try and just let them develop and see where they take me. Gosh, this could be some
like
kind
a
of
producer?
show. It looks like an assistant. Oh, that could be an assistant to somebody. Could be somebody famous. Could be somebody in the spiritual world. This feels spiritual to me. You're going down the right path and you're going to meet the right people. And the reason why they're showing me this is because this is going to be the changing point in your career where something really big is going to happen for you. And it's like a change in the career, but at the same time in the same area. Very interesting. I hate when these are 10 years out. It's like, you're going to remember to message me in 10 years and tell me what's going on. But anyways, I think that the reason that they're showing me this is because this is the path for you. And you are on it and you are doing what you need to do. And you just need to keep following it. Don't doubt yourself. Just keep building your confidence in your spirituality. Opening up the gifts. Because you do have the gifts. You're very much an empath and you feel emotions from not just humans but animals. And you know what? We really need more animal healers. Maybe that's where this is coming in. We need more animal healers in this world. We don't have enough. So I think that this is something to do spiritually with the animals. Just keep doing what you're doing is what I hear. Keep going. Keep going down the path. And you won't go the wrong direction. You just won't. You're just there. You're on that path. So don't stress is what I'm hearing. Keep
awesome.
Doing what you're doing. Yeah, very exciting. Yay. So I hope that helps you a little bit, Brittany.
Thanks, Brittany.
Yep. Let's see the next one we have here. This one's also from Serena. This is her Grandpa Joe. Oh, she said, no, this is my mom's Grandpa Joe. Does he have any message to share with her? They had a very close friendship when he was alive. That's
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe. Okay. Grandpa Joe has not reincarnated yet. That was my first question because this is Serena's great-grandpa, and sometimes these great-grandparents have reincarnated, but he has not yet. He is still there, and he does plan to wait until his children, your mother, gets there, and other family members. he's really looking forward to these reunions. He says that with each reunion that happens, it's like a party. He loves these parties. That's cool. I think about this sometimes, you know, like when you're there on the other side and you know, like, oh, this person's coming, you know, and down here it's like all sad and everything. But up there it's a great big party. He loves that. He says loves to do that.
Yeah.
He says he always liked a good surprise party. So I don't know. You might have to ask your mom about that. Why he would say he likes a good surprise party, because there's usually a hidden meaning there. Let's see what else he wants to say. Your mother was a very good child. She was, he's using the word obedient, but he doesn't mean it in a harsh way. Like, it wasn't like we had to tell her what to do and she did it. She just did it. She just knew, this is the person that I have to be and I don't want to disappoint. And so she was a very good kid. And he tells me that he sees a lot of himself in not just her, but in you as well, Serena. He loves to watch you two together because it also reminds him of your grandmother, Serena. The way that you two engage with each other it reminds him a lot of her and the way that she would engage with like her family members and your mom and that kind of thing. It's interesting, I'm sure, for them to watch the things that we do that are similar to, you know, things in the past and other family members. So he loves to watch that. He sends your mother daisies. Pretty sure these are daisies. Yellow flower. Daisies are yellow, yeah. So
White.
Are they white?
Well, they can be yellow too. No,
I'm seeing a yellow flower.
Yeah.
I think, or daffodil, whatever. It's a yellow flower. Sorry, I don't know my flowers, but I heard daisy as well, so I'm gonna go with daisy.
Okay.
But yeah, he sends flowers to her. They might come in weird ways. He likes to do strange. It's funny. They do love to do these things. He's showing me a feather that's just floating down. Like, it comes out of nowhere and it floats, like, past you, just very strangely, like, where'd that feather come from? He likes to do those types of things. So when you see those weird types of moments, those are him saying hello, trying to get your attention. He is telling me that, Serena, he's telling me that for you, there's some really big changes coming, happy changes. He wants you to relax. He says that you're going to prematurely age yourself. You're going to make yourself go gray early if you don't calm down. So he wants you to calm down. He says, gray hair comes early in our family. Relax. Yeah. He wants you to calm down. He wants you to realize that everything that you're going through in your life right now is happening for a reason. And it won't make sense to you right now, but it'll make sense years down the line. Same to your mother. Calm down. They have everything under control. The worst is over in the things that you guys have gone through and have been going through. So calm down. So that's his main message there. So, and you know what my mom says that to me all the time. Calm down. Calm down. You calm down. And then they just sit there and they laugh at you because, you know, you're acting ridiculous.
Right.
I get it. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And so we have to just take it as it comes.
Yeah, they see the end result, you know, which is paradise, and they realize it's not worth fretting over.
No, nothing really is.
Nothing really is.
It's all just...
going to be okay.
Yeah. All right. So I hope that helps Serena and your mama and Grandpa Joe.
Thank
Grandpa
you. Joe
Thank
and
you,
family.
Grandpa Joe. Okay, a drink for me. Let's see. All right. This is a kitty cat, an alive kitty cat. I tried to kind of, rotate these. Okay. This is from Ray. Ray says, this is Sally. She is alive. I adopted her in July 2021. It really seemed like she chose me. Like when she saw me, I got a sense of, there you are. It's about time. Let's go home from her. I wonder why. Did she just like something about me? Or was she connected to me during another incarnation or question. Okay, let's talk to Sally.
Kitty. Cute.
Cute. What a cute kitty. Sally's funny. She's got this really cute personality. I don't know how to explain it. She's a little skeptical about some things. I feel like sometimes she sees things and she has no clue what it is, and her eyes get really big and she goes, "What's that?" So you probably know the face I'm talking about. She's skeptical of new things. They kind of freak her out a little bit, but that might come with, whatever her life was before this. I feel like the comfort, she's showing me the comfort level that she has in your home is nothing like she had before. She didn't have the things that she has now. I don't even feel like the home that she had before you, that she had like a scratching post, nothing like that. A lot of animals, they tell me that they wonder, why did I have to leave my previous home? She doesn't care, because it was the right way for this to go. Yeah. She's glad that she got out of that home and she's with you. And what I'm feeling like, so what I feel happened that day when she saw you was very much subconscious. It wasn't like in her mind she knew, I'm connected to this person, but yes, you are, not just in previous lives, but in this life as well. She just felt like, oh, look, I could go home with this person. She felt the draw, but didn't know why. It was very much on a subconscious level. But yes, did absolutely feel this comfort, this, oh my gosh, this woman's here looking for me. She's looking for me. It wasn't like she was looking for other cats. She's looking for me. There was a level of confidence that I feel in her that she felt when she saw you of, I'm going home with this person, which is why you felt the way that you did about that, she felt confident. She did. Felt very confident in that. And she's very glad that it went the way that it did. She is a different cat with you than she was in her previous home. You might still notice some things, or at first maybe notice the little bit of like skittishness, running from sounds. She's calming down a lot on those things. Those things don't bother her anymore. The shelter experience was hard. It was harsh for her. The noises. She doesn't like the noises. She's telling me she likes quiet. But I do too. Yeah. She does, she's getting better with that. Not as frightened by the noises. Let me see what else else did you ask in here? Anything? Let me see if there's anything else she wants to say. She really wants you to know how appreciative she is of the life that you gave her. I'm going to do a body scan on her just for good measure, make sure that she's healthy. She feels healthy to me. She feels like she's on the younger side, like she has a lot of years left in her. I am drawn to one spot on the back. It's in her upper back. There might be, you have to check. Sometimes when cats are vaccinated, they get a bump. And so I feel like there might be one of these bumps on her back. And for whatever reason that happens, and it does happen to a lot of cats, and it does, I guess it's normal. So I wouldn't worry about it unless it gets bigger and bigger. But yeah, you might have already noticed that, so you'll have to let me know. But that's really the only thing health-wise that I'm picking up. Otherwise, she feels very healthy. And I feel like she's going to live a long time. And yes, you two were definitely together in this life and in previous lives. This life, I feel like it was another cat previously, earlier in your life. So cool. So yay. So I hope that helps you both, Ray and Sally.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. How are we doing on time?
Got a few minutes.
Okay. Let's see. I want to do another spirit reading, because I only had one of those. Okay, this is from Amanda. She says, if you feel drawn, I would love to hear from my sister Tabitha and get any advice she could offer on my youngest daughter, who is actually my great niece that we adopted when she was 2 years old and is now almost 13. She has some trauma from the neglect she suffered prior to coming into our care, and was also recently diagnosed with high-functioning autism. I just want to know how we can best help her, especially now that she is going into her teen years and is very moody. She can be a lot for me to handle at times, and I have to go into my closet and cry and reset with some meditation. I'd like to know what her future looks like with her biological parents. Just any advice would be really, really helpful. Thank you so much. And she said that they don't allow her at this point to have contact with her biological parents. So this is Tabitha. Tabitha, let's talk to her. These spirits. She comes in with, my dear sister, you worry too much. But hello, like, this is tough. This is a tough situation, and I understand why you have to worry about it and why you definitely could use some advice from the other side about this. Teenagers are very hard, and it only gets harder, I feel, as they age in those teenage years.
So this is her biological mother?
No, this is Amanda's sister.
Oh, okay.
And Amanda's asking about her niece, who she's adopted as her daughter, who is now 13 years old.
Okay.
So she's going to be okay, as I think what Tabitha's trying to get across. And you're going to be okay. This is going to be, yes, a difficult time for you the next few years dealing with her. But I think it's going to teach you both a lot, and actually years from now it's going to make your relationship stronger. There's a couple of things here that I feel Tabitha would like to point out. One of them is that when you start to get frustrated with her, it's okay to let out your frustration like you're doing. Don't feel bad about that. You go and you have your cry and you let it out because you have to do that. That's important. She also wants you to think back to when you were a teenager and remember how hard it is to be a teenager, but then also add the age of social media on top of that, and the fact that she's high functioning, has autism,
right.
High functioning. These things make being a teenager even harder than when we were teenagers. So she doesn't want you to put a lot of pressure on yourself to be perfect, because you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to make all the right decisions, and you're never going to say all the right things, and that's okay, because you two are here together to learn some things together. This girl, what? Let's see. Did you say what her name was? Don't think you said what your daughter's name was. She has other battles that she has to fight as well. I feel like until her mid-30s, early 40s, she's going to struggle a lot with herself and with the trauma that she did experience in the past. She's going to need to reconnect with her parents, but not now. Tabitha's making that very clear. Now is not the time. It would make things worse. I feel like closer to 17, 18, when she's a little bit more emotionally stable, the hormones have, relaxed a little bit. She understands life a little bit more. I feel like the biological parents at this point would be highly influential in negative ways, and would even maybe try and get her to come and live with them, or mom, I'm feeling especially. And that would not be good. She has to stay with you. No matter what anybody says, she has to stay with you until she's at least 18. That's very important, Tabitha is saying. And that does make this difficult, because I know you see that you still have 5 years of her being a child in front of you, and 5 years of this is hard. But know that there is a reason, and you two are experiencing a lot together, and it will get better. Let's see what else Tabitha wants to say. She's very proud of you for taking on this task of being a mother to your niece. That is not easy. And she loves you very much for that, and for who you are, and for everything that you bring to your family's lives, and she's really sorry that she's not around to help. She is helping, just in a different way. She's not physically there to help, but she really is trying to help to provide a better life for all of you. You have a lot of really good karma for this, for taking in this child and doing this, and she hopes that you see that and you know that the other side is trying to repay you for what you do for her.
Yeah.
And there go the tears. I made it
I
almost
heard that,
the whole episode.
It's kind of funny through some of these readings. I've heard things as like before you said them, and like kind of teaching myself right now to sort of trust what I'm hearing. But that was one thing I heard is like, what you're doing is so honorable for this person's life.
Yes.
That the universe is not going to let you down.
Not at all.
They have your back and her back 100%.
Yes. And we all have struggles. Like I was saying earlier in the episode, it is really like a roller coaster. Our lives are like a roller coaster. And you're going to have the up times and the down times, and you just have to take them as they come. But for the most part, your life is really going to be beautiful, and the other side is really trying to have a part in that.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
That's very good.
Yay. I'm going to stop there. We have a special guest that's walking through the studio.
Zuma Brown.
Zuma, our 160-pound Great Dane that has decided that he's going to take up the little amount of room that is left in the studio. Are you guys
done yet?
Yeah, are you done? Hurry it up. So we will call it there.
Very good.
Yes.
Well, that was good. Thanks for everybody that asked for readings.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to do that. I look forward to your feedback and any additional questions that you guys have on your reading.
Yeah. Please share.
Yes, absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we say goodbye to our friends, would you like to share your information one more time?
Yes. You can find me at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com, or you can find us on social media, Spiritual Joneses, or email us spiritualjoneses@gmail.com. And for you?
Very good. For my art, djonesartcollection.com for the web, at djonesartcollection for Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Hey.
And that is it for me.
Fabulous.
Thanks once again, everybody, for the readings requests, and that was pretty cool. I always love to hear them.
Yeah.
And we hope to hear from you.
Yes, and here comes the song for you guys.
Yes, we're going to share that right here at the end. After the end of the theme song, you will hear Beyond the Bridge, which is the name, same title as the show. It's only about 50 seconds. It's very short, but I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And I think it fits nicely.
I love it, and I thank you for doing that for me.
You're welcome. I love you.
Yeah, I do.
Well, we hope everybody has a great week.
That we do.
And until next week, peace and love.